Okay, so I'm just going to go and share the screen. Just bear with me. Okay, right. So hopefully you can see that okay. There we go. So, like I said, getting started with your doTERRA business. Now, probably best that we start off with this is with our personal story. We all have our own personal story. In fact, just give me 1 second and I'll just turn off, hopefully, the buttons here. Bear with me 1 second. I'll find the right button to press here. Where are we? Can't find the right one to press. All right, not to worry. We can worry about that another time. So, starting off with our personal story, and I think we all have our stories that when we get involved. I know that certainly at the beginning when we got involved, and I always recommend that people do as soon as they, and this would certainly be to yourself as well, if you've only just joined us, is to make sure that you spend a little bit of time getting used to your oils. Okay, that's a really important thing that you do that. Let me just, I seem to have a, there we go. But originally we were attracted by the business opportunity. And when we did get involved, like I said, we did get into the oils, but it wasn't the normal track for us getting involved as many other people do. Most people, it's true to say, come into this business and they look at it because they love the oils. They come in, and very often they come in as a wholesale customer, and I believe we do have some wholesale customers that may be joining us this evening, and they find that they love the oils, but they're also a way that they can find a way to earn an extra income. But we did come into it through the business opportunity. We were in a company that, in our opinion, is failing and going in completely the wrong direction, which has been backed up by a few statistics today as well. And we were looking for a change of direction, something we could really throw ourselves into. So that's where we actually came from. And I think some of the things that we saw initially when we got involved was the fact that the company, doTERRA, had gone from 0 to $2 billion per annum in just 9 short years, which was to us absolutely amazing, because our previous company certainly had gone in the other direction very quickly. So as far as that was one thing that really attracted us to it. The second thing, and probably more powerful, was it is being in network marketing or network distribution, multi-level marketing for the last 22 years. We know a lot of the big companies that are in around the world, companies like Avon, Amway, Herbalife, Forever Living Products. I'm sure you've heard many of the company names. And doTERRA had grown in just 9 short years to be the largest of all of those companies in the United States of America. Really did blow us away, to be honest. But then it did become about the oils. You know, we got in to it, and amazingly, when we actually found they helped Sue's gastric issues, because Sue suffers from hiatus hernia, has really bad gastric issues. She had an operation for that, where they lift up the stomach and wrap it around the esophagus and stuff like that. But it had started failing, and the NHS really gave up on it pretty much at that particular point. They said, well, we don't really want to operate again. Are you getting on okay? And she was using lots of medication, probably about £300 a year in medication, plus also chewing gum to just the saliva when she used to chew chewing gum was keeping it just under control. But it was starting to have an effect. She said, I could tell the acid is going to start having an effect on my teeth that was coming up, where she was getting this acid reflux, really severe, coming up. And it was simply about, when we were given some samples to try, like many people do when they get involved, they get a sample or two to try, and said, just put a drop of this peppermint oil on your finger and put your finger in your mouth and suck your finger. And it instantly relieved this burning. And to cut a very long story short on that, it was it lasted for about 12 hours, and then she took another drop of peppermint, and it's around about £30 worth of peppermint oil per year has saved us £300 worth of meds, if you like, that she was paying as well. But it's not so much for that, it was the rubbish that she was having to put into her body. You know, it's a very high dosage level. So one, it was for health, but two, for financial. We saw that this business really could make a difference to people's lives. And we started testing out and, you know, trying the oils and things like that. It was also seeing products like Deep Blue work. We had friends coming round, some previous team members coming round. I remember one lady coming round that had a real pain in her neck. Real bad. I said, I've got this all the time. I spent £25 on a massage for it today, and it didn't even touch it. And we got 2 or 3 drops of this Deep Blue, put it on her fingers, and she massaged it into her neck herself. And her face, when she saw what the oils actually did. And that's it's that look where people's mouths sort of drop open. You think, wow, how can 2 or 3 drops of that completely? And sometimes it takes a little longer, but that instantaneously, she couldn't believe it, just disappeared. And she's tried everything else. And it even stopped me snoring as well, which Sue always tells at every single meeting that we go to. I don't mind, but everybody knows that I used to snore a lot, and it stopped me snoring just by when we got the Home Essentials kit and we got the diffuser. We put 2 or 3 drops in that, heard it worked, and literally just, the first day it made a huge difference, and then it just completely disappeared. And there's so many other people who say similar stories. So for us, it became very much the oils a little later on. It wasn't an immediate thing. It was for us initially, as you can see at the top of this slide, it was more about the opportunity, but then it became very much about the oil. So if you're just starting, go through all these things yourself, because you can hear about my testimonials, and that can be powerful, or our testimonials, but your testimonials as well will be more powerful when you are sharing and talking to people about joining our business as well, I guess. So like I said, initially get used to your new oils, try them out, get your own testimonials too, which I've just said. We would certainly recommend you print off the New Wellness Advocate Success checklist, if that's not too much of a mouthful for you. We've got this at globallifestylesgroup.com. Okay, you can get it there. It's on the document section, and watch the videos mentioned in the first 7 days of you being in doTERRA, and literally tick them off. You obviously can see at the top the recommended Facebook groups. If your sponsor hasn't put you in them yet, make sure that you ask them to. Okay, obviously our group, and you can see the other ones there. But the videos on the site, on the back office, are there for a reason, and they're there in a particular order. The Getting Started one that I put together initially with Nathan and Rebecca, watch that one. That's about half an hour. But watch, at least 1 or 2 videos per day. The effective sampling ones are fantastic. The Rebecca Bowles has put together as well, of course. So watch those ones through. That'll give you a lot of information and a lot of knowledge over the next few days to help you with your business. So you do need to learn this business, and there are, as well as that, on the next page there are documents that are supporting that. So there's your system in place. Make sure you follow it, and of course with your new people, of course, run through exactly the same for them. So you haven't got to reinvent all this. You haven't got to teach other people. Just make sure your new people watch these videos as well. Now, I'd recommend that you do set a date after you've watched those. Maybe 2 or 3, after you watch the videos, maybe 3, 4 weeks at the most ahead of you, okay, to launch your business for classes or one-to-one presentations. And that's plenty of time for you to get a lot of interest for your business. Now, certainly after you've watched the sampling videos, there's 2 videos there that they're not short ones, but they're definitely worth watching, the Rebecca Bowles tutorials that we just mentioned. So watch those first, follow the advice, and then start sampling. And let's look at a few numbers here to help you build your income. And success is certainly a numbers game. So, of course, like I said, Rebecca says on the video about the top 100 list. and she gives you certain categories of people. I'm not going to repeat exactly what's on the video. You can watch the video to do that. But contact the top 100 list that I mentioned. Also use social media too. You know, many of you have got hundreds of friends, and I know there are such things as Facebook friends and real friends, but you've got a lot of contacts with social media, and very often you can put posts on there saying that, you know, you've been using these oils and they've helped with a headache or a gastric issue or snoring or whatever, you know, particular ailment that it might help with. And social media is very, very good to reach out, to share experiences and get people asking you for samples, so you can offer for samples. But if you do that, what I would recommend, the reason for the images there, is do get on the phone to them. Don't. The danger is sometimes there's always people saying, yeah, send me a freebie, send me a freebie. But trust us, and it's down to experience. A lot of people say that. It doesn't mean they're going to pick up the phone and speak to you and say how well they got on with that experience. So if they're interested, maybe personal message and just send me something like, you know, you might be mentioning about headache or arthritic pain or something like that. Say, just give me a phone number and I'll contact you just to make sure I'm sending you the right type of sample. And if you can't get hold of them, you're probably not going to have much chance of getting hold of them after that either. So I would recommend that you certainly talk to people first. Now, these figures have been pretty much tried and tested, and I checked these out with Nathan and Rebecca, and there are people in their uplines as well that have spent a lot of money studying the numbers, you know, the ratios, and it's important to have a look at these numbers. And if you sample 100 people, that will normally lead to 35 of those coming to a class. Now, that may be a class at your house, or later on, of course, you can do classes at your people's houses. Again, there are videos on classes. All of that's explained on the support group, so make sure you watch those videos. Now, out of the 35 classes, on average, 17 will start on a kit, maybe either the Family Essentials kit, the Home Essentials kit, but 17 will start on enrollment kits. If they're sampled properly, of course, that's the key thing. So make sure they're sampled properly to get these numbers. And out of the 17 that start with kits, normally 8 will start on LRP. That's the Loyalty Rewards Program. Now, I'll speak in a little bit more detail about that as we go through this particular training. Now, how quick you do this is up to you, of course. But let's just have a look at one particular game plan to help you become successful. Now, one of the first things to understand within doTERRA is that one of the building blocks with doTERRA is what we call the elite level. This is the main building block for success in doTERRA. And then it's just a matter of how many elites you get into your organization. Now, what we're going to share with you are examples of income. Of course, your success will be determined by your own efforts and the way you structure it. Now, to get to this level of elite with doTERRA, you need 3,000 overall volume. That's 3,000 product points. Now, this can be done by yourself, by your own efforts, or it can be you plus introducing a team of distributors to get you to that 3,000 overall volume. Hopefully that's clear. Now, let's see though, what I'd rather do on this particular example is just for you to take responsibility to get there, and then showing a few other people how to do the same on this particular example. So, here's a game plan, stage 1, that you could take if you choose. You could choose to maybe hold 1 or maybe 2 classes in a week and get a total across those classes of 8 attendees. So 8 people that show up at your classes. Some people prefer, rather than doing classes, to perhaps do 8 one-to-ones. It's entirely up to you. The good thing about a class is that it will save you a lot of time, but you also get a lot of personal interaction on one-to-ones as well. So that's absolutely fine too. Now, again, talking about the numbers we've already spoken about, 1 in 2 people on average will purchase a enrollment kit, Family Essentials, Home Essentials. So if you're seeing 8 people and 1 in 2 people purchase a kit, of course, that's 4 kits per week. Now, what kits would they be? Well, like I said, the most popular ones are the Family Essentials and Home Essentials. So let's work on an average. You get 2 Family Essentials kits that are purchased and 2 Home Essential kits. Now, that would produce, across a month, 2,903 PV. Okay, and of course, I'm sure you all know that you all need to be qualifying to have qualifying on commissions of people that you're introducing. You need to have a 100 point LRP order. So if you add those 2 together, you can see it just takes you over the 3,000. That will qualify you at Elite. And the earnings for your first, let's just say you did that in your first month. It doesn't matter if it's first month or second month, it's stage 1, however long it takes you to get there. But if you did that over a month, that would earn you an additional £370 worth of immediate income, which is fine. That's a way to generate some income straight away. And that's just based on doTERRA's Fast Start bonuses. Purely that, there's no leadership bonuses, they come a little further on. So that's stage 1. You can generate over 3,000 overall volume and earn that immediate income. So stage 2 is quite simply, you'll find others who would, like you, would like to share the oils. It's true to say 90% of people who come in to doTERRA just come in because they love the oils. They come in either as a wholesale customer and they're more than happy with that. But 10% of people normally will say, yes, I would be interested in doing maybe the business side of it and earning some extra money. So over a period of time, find 3 other people and show them how to do stage 1, what you've just done yourself, getting to the 3,000 overall volume. Now, this would mean you would have 3 elites in your team, the same as you were in the first month, and you would rank at the silver level. Now, by ranking at that, that would earn you £1,175 for the month. And that's based on doTERRA's Fast Start, Silver bonus, and Empower bonuses as well. So some of those other leadership bonuses start coming into play. You can see it can make quite a big difference to your income. So let's go on to stage 3. That's stage 2. Just you get, well, first of all, stage 1 is you get to Elite. Stage 2 is you show 3 others how to do the same as you. Now, stage 3 is showing your 3 team members how to do stage 2. Okay, so you can see the 9 elites along the bottom. So you're showing your 3. Now they qualify at silver. Okay, because they've introduced, done exactly the same as you done in the previous example, and because of that, you now qualify at the platinum level. Now, what does that actually pay? Well, these figures I'm going to show you here are based on the averages for doTERRA in 2016, because there can be quite a few anomalies that come into this. So let's give you the average in doTERRA, the average income that a platinum would earn. And that would be, on average, at that rank, £7,045 per month. Now, it's true to say, very similar to other companies that we've been involved with as well, not everybody's going to earn that to start. Right at the start of you qualifying at that, you might be on £3,500 to £4,000. However, there will be some people who rank at the platinum level that will probably be on £12,000 to £13,000 per month. So this is an average, and that's not a bad average, £84,000 at the average level of qualifying for that. Now, let's take it one step further. You can see there you've got 3 legs qualifying at the silver level. So the bottom line is the elites, all doing 3,000 each. You've got 3 silvers, combined 9,000 each. What happens if you just add a 4th leg and work with that 4th leg to achieve the silver rank? So you have 3. What happens if you add a 4th to it? Well, this ranks you at what we call the diamond level. Okay, you can see it's exactly the same as the previous one, but just one more leg added. So what would be the average earnings by doing that? Well, by moving to the diamond level, you start opening up another load of leadership bonuses, because diamond is one of the major ranks within doTERRA to aim for. Now, the average earnings at that level are £12,571 per month. Okay, that's over £150,000 per year. Now, let's not kid you that somebody's going to give you that for doing nothing. You have to put some time, effort, and work into getting that. And it's true to say exactly the same as when we were talking about the previous example at platinum. When you probably hit the diamond rank, you're going to be earning somewhere in the region of maybe 6,000-ish. But there are other diamonds within doTERRA earning well in excess of 20,000 per month. Okay, so again, these are the averages we're talking here, and this is quite serious money. I'm sure you'll agree. But in network marketing terms in the world, in even doTERRA terms, it doesn't stop here. You may be interested to see, this is we didn't have this on last month. I thought you'd be interested to see this month. We did those based on the averages for 2016. Here are the top earners with doTERRA in 2016. Bearing in mind, that's 8 years. I mean, they've been going 9 years now, but the company have only been going for 8 short years. And you can see here the estimated yearly, and this, by the way, is from the Business at Home website. And people have been allowed to query this. If it's wrong, it's been out a year and nobody's queried it. So you can see the monthly amount at the top. Hayley Hobson is on over $3 million per year. Well, of course, it's dollars. It's not really worth much, is it? No, only around about, I don't know, 2.2 million or something like that, 2.2 million pounds per year in UK sterling. But that gives you an idea. This is the great thing about our company compared to some other companies that are prepared to sort of show these figures and what people are actually doing. Our previous company used to brag on how they were happy to show people's incomes and how that's changed in time as things aren't going so well. So that shows you there what people are earning, and that's just 8 years after inception. So how much is it going to be in the next few years? And out of interest, those of you that are in the UK that are watching this who are coming to Northampton next week, a week and a day away, Hayley Hobson in 8 days' time will be there. So you'll be able to meet Hayley Hobson, who's earning $3 million+ per year. How exciting is that to get around people like that? So I believe Boyd Truman's there as well, the third one on the list. Even more exciting that you're going to get direct access on the Friday anyway. Those are coming up on the Friday to meet these people, and you'll just see what you can do with the business too. Now I want to speak to you as well about loyalty, or the Loyalty Rewards Program, or LRP, and it's probably quite, I think at the start, misunderstood by people who join doTERRA, because people are looking for a catch. And of course, all distributors, wellness advocates who want to earn commission do need to place 100 LRP order each month to earn commissions. And depending on the type of products you're buying, if you're just buying the oils, it's normally sort of 75, 80 pounds, something like that, to earn commissions. Now, the way you want to be looking at this as well is it's the absolute best way to reinvest in your business, because you're going to have to reinvest into your business. We're in a business, I'm sure you all know about sampling. And you are going to be running out of things like peppermint, because you're going to be giving samples out to people. You've got to put maybe 10 drops in a little sample and give it out to people. Well, if you're doing plenty of that, you're going to be needing to reinvest. And it's, like I said, the best way. So it doesn't take, it only takes like a few oils, and you're up to your 70 or 80 pound. It doesn't take long. And some people will also be happy to buy at retail. What do I mean by that? Well, you might have your Auntie Nellie or something like that, and maybe she doesn't want it. Maybe she's not on the internet. Maybe she's not going to be interested in having a wholesale account, and she might just say, well, can you get me one of those peppermint oil, so if you can get me that black pepper oil, whatever it may be. So you only got to have 1 or 2 of those, and that can go towards your loyalty rewards program. You could just put that through and pass it out to her. So as long as you get over the course of a whole month, 70 or 80 pounds worth to reinvest, or a relative saying, "I can have this," or it's really, really simple. In fact, much less than other companies ask for to earn and stay active within the business. And do bear in mind the products you're going to use for yourself. We use the toothpaste, we use the oils, we run out of those. You should be buying from your own business anyway. Network marketing is not a matter of coming into a company saying, "Well, I'm not going to buy any of this stuff, I'm just going to get everybody else to buy it." It's a matter of you using it and recommending it. So rather than you doing it at only a 25% discount, you want to be doing it and so you're getting so much more off. And it works very similar to like an air miles system or a store loyalty card. It's so much better than those, because things like store loyalty cards, you're only looking at a pittance back normally, where this can often work. Sometimes you put £1 in, almost get the equivalent back. So let me explain a little more here. So you get reward points given to you, which give you free products. You can cash them in to give you free products, but in effect, it works up to 55% off on retail. And whenever I'm explaining this, I'm saying, when you're buying at wholesale, you're getting 25% off. Would you like to find out how to get up to 55% off? Now, the way it works is at months 1 to 3, any orders you place on what we call the loyalty rewards system, you get a 10% bonus back in points. So you put in 100, an order for 100 PV, you get 10 points given back. Okay, and you see over a period of time, you keep building up. So you get 15, 20, 25, and it maxes out on 13 months plus, so just over a year, at 30% off in effect, or 30% back in loyalty rewards points. So it works in effect. You save these points up, and you can cash them in at any time. Now, at 30%, if you place an order for 100 PV in the month, you'll get 30 reward points back. Okay, now that's the equivalent of maybe buying an oil like Breathe. So this is quite significant. Rather than, that may cost you, 20 odd pounds to actually get that back, but you can just claim that in against it. Okay, so and many people have, they just save up their points. I don't recommend cashing them in on a monthly basis, because there is a small charge of $3 to cash your points in, so you don't want to be doing that every month. So save them up, and then you can even place, I sort of saw one on an American Post the other day that said, "Well, I've just got $300 worth of orders just by cashing in 300 points." Okay, which is roughly their exchange rate for it as well. So it's an absolutely brilliant way to do it. But so that's for yourselves, for distributors. But don't forget that LRP is designed with your wholesale customers in mind, of course. Okay, so they can actually get involved and go up that particular ladder, if you like, the 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30%. They can get involved on that from around about, it's 50 PV. In the UK, works out roughly about £35 per month. And as long as they're doing that, and some months, even if they don't want to go up the actual the ladder, but as long as they spend 1 PV, there's nothing actually for 1 PV, but they spend £4, £5 or something like that, then they just would keep on it, and they can then just start building. Once they've got more than 50 PV every month, they can build up to that 30% off. Now, that is why that doTERRA have one of the best retention rates right throughout the industry of people coming back and buying from them again and again and again. And you may have heard this before, but if you haven't, and it's certainly worth repeating, the average in most other network marketing companies who do health and wellness, the average people that come back and make a subsequent purchase after buying the first kit is only around 10 to 13%. Now, the current run rate with doTERRA is 68% of people worldwide come back every single quarter and buy again from doTERRA. Now that is absolutely huge. And the great thing about that is it means a steady income for you, because next month, if you do it correctly and you do wellness consultations, and it's important that you're booking your wellness consultation with your new people the month that they join you. So you go through and do a wellness consultation, maybe a fortnight afterwards. You go through and show them the back office. You go through and find out any other particular ailments they may suffer with, because then you can make advice on or suggestions on other products that may help them. And of course you can then mention the LRP and mention about this fantastic system where you can get up to not just the 25% off, but you can show them how to get up to the 55% off. And as we explained earlier, normally 1 in 2 people that you speak to will normally take on the LRP at a particular level, which is a brilliant way for, like I said, for you creating a steady income. So what's in doTERRA for you moving forward? You know, we've given you some basics on the getting started here. It's a very simple business, and you are your own boss. You determine what you do and how much you get. That's the brilliant thing about being your own boss. You need to be self-disciplined, of course, but what a way to start your own business. People get involved in this business generally for sort of less than sort of £300 in the UK to genuinely change their future. You've seen what we've shared with you this evening on the sort of incomes that you can expect to see if you're prepared to put some work in. And you do have to be prepared to put some work in, but you do it at your own pace. There's never going to be a boss there saying you must do more than what you want to do. That means we'll of course encourage you and we'll help you, but ultimately you choose the pace that you want to go. You can just be sharing some products and going slower, or you can decide, like ourselves, I guess, you know, we've got a very fast growing group of people in the global lifestyles group. You know, our group is one of the fastest growing that Europe's ever seen. If it is actually, our group went gold level in the first month, and you know, we're absolutely loving what we found here compared to our previous experiences with other networks. You've of course got a sponsor, and they're sponsors for helping. You also got an enroller to go to for help and guidance with your business at all times. And of course, you've got numbers, as you can see here, for doTERRA customer services. There are ones all over the world. We've just put down the ones here. We've all people in our team. I believe we've got people on here from Canada, New Zealand. I'm not sure you can see the New Zealand number there. I think it's covered by the videos at the end. But you can go to the customer services, which I found are absolutely brilliant for helping you and giving you advice that maybe your sponsors can't always answer, maybe on account issues and things like that. So we look forward to supporting you and helping you with the business, whatever level you choose to build to. And next week we have these webinars on a regular basis. At the moment, we're obviously rotating these ones as we go through. It was great, by the way, to see people last week on the one that Sue did. And we'll be running the same one. We may just do it slightly differently next time. We haven't decided yet, but we will sort of change it up a little bit as we go along, no doubt. But interestingly, we had 2 people that joined us, and I know that George on here, as well as maybe somebody else as well. That's I think possibly Dave as well joined us last week after watching Sue's essential oils video as well, and they joined us on a kit. So it's worth getting your people, you know, to watch these webinars, and we will put that one open to everybody. And if anybody watches it, you know, they may often come back to you, as well as educating you about the oils. Very often you might find that people come and join your business after seeing that as well. So that's it for this evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next week, and we'll see you, of course, interacting on our Facebook groups. Do, you know, if you enjoyed this or whatever you want to interact with the group, please do put that there too. That's it, everybody. Good night, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
There are no wasted efforts in nature. The fragrance of a flower, the smell of an orange, or the scent of a pine tree all serve specific purposes vital to a plant's survival. What our senses perceive as fragrances or scents are actually volatile aromatic compounds, tiny organic molecules that serve a variety of protective, reproductive, and regenerative purposes. These compounds help ward off unfriendly pests, attract friendly herbivores and insects, and even help the plant heal from infection and physical injury. There are over 3,000 identified varieties of aromatic compounds, each with its own unique and functional chemical constituents that provide different aromas and benefits to the plants. From the petals of a flower, to the leaves of a plant, the rind of a fruit, or the resin of a tree, these volatile aromatic compounds are all around us. Distilled directly from their plant sources, essential oils are multifaceted agents that have seemingly endless applications to our health and can be used aromatically, topically, or internally. Ensuring the maximum potency and beneficial properties of an essential oil are the result of maintaining the delicate ratio of aromatic constituents found in that essential oil.